Hi everybody! Welcome to A Case of the Jills. I am very happy to have you here today. A couple of quick things before we get started. I think I have some new subscribers. If you're new to the channel, you may not know that on my website you can find a book of FAQs that will answer a lot of the questions that you may already have on amenorrhea and recovery and navigating this whole thing. I'm going to put a link below where you can actually get the ebook, and also if you're interested, there is a free preview available where you can get the first 15 pages of the ebook as well as an entire list of all the questions that are covered to see if you'd like to see more. So many of you know that I have gone back to graduate school so that I can pursue a degree, a master's degree in psychology. My goal is to be a resource, a bigger resource for those of you trying to navigate the sort of mental component of all of this, the psychological aspect. So I just want to tell you that I got a 9 out of 10 on my first homework assignment and I'm feeling pretty good. It was definitely not easy and I spent a lot of hours and probably have a few more gray hairs. This poor bottle, look, it's almost empty. Yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Honestly, I'm super energized by it. I'm really excited. And next week I'll be taking you along up in Boston again. Did you notice that? Did you see that? Do you see what I just did? I said, I'll be taking you up to Boston. Like, I'm afraid to say the H word. Okay, I know, I've been doing this a lot lately, and I have to stop doing that. I will take you along with me to Harvard next week so that you can come along with me and see more of my experience there. Okay, moving on. I have never done a rant video before, and you guys know me, this isn't going to be a true rant. But what it is going to be is a powerful conversation about the realities of friendships when we enter into amenorrhea recovery. I am absolutely positive that I am not the only person that has had drastic adjustments to their roster of friends since going through this process. Some of these adjustments happened to me before the process, during the process, after the process. Some of it's still happening now. I've also received emails and messages from girls telling me personally about some of the struggles that they are going through or have gone through with regard to friendships, and I'm so sad about it. I really feel badly, but I want us to talk about this because I want you to know, as usual, you're definitely not alone in this. So let's talk about the background of this. Why does this happen? Athletes become very close with the people that they train with. If you're on a team, your team is pretty much your family. You probably see them more than you see your family. Even if you're not on a team, if you are training for something that is taking a lot of your time, which let's face it, you must be if you're watching this channel, those training partners or even that one training partner can honestly become your shadow. You're almost inseparable. You spend so much time together. So of course you're going to be friends. But then what happens? Okay, you've decided enough is enough. You're going to recover. A lot of changes start to happen. You're going to need to be doing less exercise. You're going to be training less. Some of you might even have to drop off the team that you were on. You might have to pull out of a race. You might not be there for the standing Saturday morning trail run. Certain things are going to happen to disrupt these relationships. So let's talk about the ugly possibilities of this. In the beginning stages of recovery, when maybe you have not communicated your intentions to your friends, or maybe you haven't discussed the whole thing out in public, you might find that people are sort of feeling like, why are you blowing me off? They might just be angry that you're not around anymore. Some people may feel rejected because they're mistaking your intentions. This is understandable. But then things start to change a little bit when you have made your intentions clear. This is when the ugly stuff starts to come out. Some people may straight up not understand this and consider it still a personal rejection. Some people may now start to make comments about your performance. Maybe you're running a bit slower or you're training less and they're starting to say something about it. With other people, it might be a case of out of sight, out of mind. They don't see you at the normal trainings, they don't see you at practice, they don't see you on the normal training runs, so you just don't exist. Some people may actually, I'm being real here, I want you to hear this. Some people may actually look at you in your new body and be judgmental. They may make you uncomfortable while they're looking at you a certain way. They may make comments. They might even do worse than that, which I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. This is when you start to feel shame. You're feeling confused. These people were your friends. Now, why are they making you feel bad about yourself? You're thinking to yourself, it took me long enough to actually put myself first. Why do I need to justify my health to these people? They're making me feel like they don't want to be my friend anymore. So how am I supposed to navigate this? This is all understandable. I've been through it. So you want to hear my experience? I've had people stop calling me because I can no longer provide them with the service of chatting with them for the amount of miles that they wanted to run. I'm serious. I actually functioned as a human iPod for some people at some points, and they pretty much stopped calling me when I couldn't run with them because it meant that they couldn't be distracted. Maybe I'm exaggerating slightly, but it certainly doesn't feel that way. Some people do not comment on anything that I post, and when they see me in person, they don't ask me questions because apparently I've been through some type of taboo health condition that no one wants to talk about. Oh, have you heard about Jill? She has amenorrhea. Some people have seen me in public and act embarrassed. I've noticed this on several occasions. It's especially funny for the guys because they don't really know how to talk to you about things that begin and end with ovaries. That's okay. I forgive all those guys. But then I want you to imagine for a moment, what would be your absolute nightmare? The most horrible thing that you can possibly imagine would happen when a friend of yours sees you now with the body that is healthier and perhaps has a few extra pounds on it. I'm proud to say that this nightmare was my reality. I had my old running partner come up to me before a training run, pat my fuller thighs and say to me, "My God, I never thought I'd see your legs this big." Thanks for that. That was really awesome. It was pretty terrible, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I think about it since I'm still talking about it now. Oh, and by the way, if any of you have stories worse than that, comment below or write to me. I really want to hear them. We have to laugh at this a little bit, don't we? She told me I had thunder thighs, basically. Let's talk about all the reasons why this might be happening. Let me preface this by saying that the themes for the next portion of this video are the following. Don't forget that people criticize in others the things they fear about themselves. Number 2, misery loves company. And number 3, we need to give a lot less. So again, why is this happening? You're making a choice to get healthy, and it's making other people who have not made that choice very uncomfortable. Your truth invites them to confront their own, and they do not want to do this. They've been happily living in fantasy land for so long, and the last thing they want to do is start contemplating their own situation. I will tell you right now that as difficult as it may seem, someone who is not willing to confront reality in their own life is not someone you need in yours. The second reason why this might be happening is that your sport in the past, your activity, your training, allowed someone else to do something because they did it with you. And now that you cannot provide that service for them, they don't really have use for you. They used you for a purpose, a ride together, a run together, training session at the gym. This is you being straight up used. This person doesn't like you, they like what you did for them. And now that that's off the table, you won't see them. This next one is really hard, but we absolutely need to talk about it. Some people are so afraid of gaining weight in the fitness and or training and or endurance sport world that your changing body freaks them right out. Especially if you look happy while you are getting healthier. Yeah, that'll really screw people up. I can say a lot of really nasty things about this kind of person, but instead, I'm gonna take a breath. I'm just gonna say that this is a very sad and small person. They're clearly terrified in their own life. With the battery dying, I've had a few moments to reflect. And I do want to make clear that if you do have people like this in your life, they need more of a hug than they do your anger. So just again, remember that whole thing about giving less? Yeah, this is not an occasion to give one. Another group of people really may have been your sort of situational friend. I know this sounds really harsh. Like, is it just because we're in close proximity to certain people that it makes us friends? The truth is that, yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes the people that we work with or go to school with or, yes, that we train with are sort of our friends because we have that one thing in common, but truthfully, they're not a true friend. It's okay to understand that reality. It doesn't make it any less painful though. So in sum, we're talking about a group of people that are represented by indifference, insecurity, dishonesty, fear. These are not the people you need in your life. This is a moment of growth for you, and anybody who is not 100% on board with the changes that you're going to be going through is not worth it. There's no exceptions to this, and I know it sounds really harsh, but the worst thing that could happen is that you find the truth of what someone is really all about inside, and you have to make a hard decision about it. I shouldn't have to say this, but no one on this earth has any right to look at, comment on, or heaven forbid, touch your body in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. Even if it's another female. You are an incredible person, and you deserve people who are going to value you, love you, and going to be there for you unconditionally. It's hard not to mourn the loss of these kind of flimsy friendships, but you learned something. You learned something real about someone. Oh, and I'm gonna say this. Do not hide, cover yourself up, decline invitations. Do not isolate yourself or ever put yourself down in front of people. Remember that people will treat you how you treat yourself. There is no shame in any of this. You are strong, and getting healthy is something to be proud of. And of course, take time to acknowledge the people in your life that have stuck by you through all this. Now is the time to let them know how grateful you are and how much it means to you. Don't be afraid to open the door to new friends. You may find that through other activities, other circles, just other everything, you might meet some incredible people that don't just want one thing out of you. And they don't care how big your thighs are. I know that this is really hard to think of right now since it's a painful moment, but also sort of think about the fact that this is an opportunity to break old habits. And if at the end of all of this you legitimately have no friends, you have me. And you have all of us, this community of women that are going through the same things you are and are here to try to make you stronger. I get fired up about this stuff because no one should feel bad about making a good choice. I truly hope that you're able to surround yourself with people that do love and respect you, but if they don't, there's the door. So this was kind of a Jill-sized rant today. It's hard for me to be like totally mean just because that's not my personality. But I do have to say that it really sucks to not be accepted for something that you're doing for your own good. I know it's hard to see this now, but you are better off without this baggage that would only hold you back. I hope this made you feel a little bit better about things. I wanted it to be sort of like a hug coming through the camera, and I hope that it was. Thank you so much for following me on Instagram. Thank you for liking the Facebook page. Thank you for going over to acaseofthejills.com and reading the personal stories of the women that have chosen to share their journey with us. Don't forget to download a free copy of the first 15 pages of the ebook just to see if you like it. I'm so glad that you spent this time with me today, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.